Hi everybody, it's Geordie from Geordie's Cards. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am back with episode 21 of my Shop Your Crafty Stash series. Now, I didn't get to make one last week. I was a bit snowed under with design team projects. So back today, I have missed a week. And today, my random number generator finally chose out a Christmas themed stamp set for me. So this is the Clearly Besotted Red Robin stamp set. I've had this one for a little while. I've used it a few times, but I haven't used it for probably a year or two. So I'm glad to be pulling it out again. I also have the Lawn Fawn outside in stitched star stackables, and I'm using the stitched star frames as well. And then I pulled out the Mama Elephant Everything Nice stamp set, which has coordinating dies as well. Then I pulled out this Echo Park Jingle All the Way paper pack. It's a 12 by 12 paper pack, and I cut down a panel that measures 5.5 by 4.25. Then used my Lawn Fawn stitched star stackables to cut some stars from inside that piece. And I also cut frames from some white cardstock to pop inside the two largest stars that I cut there. And that's where my two little robins are going to sit. So I have coloured and cut out my little robins. Aren't these guys just adorable? They're round and cute and yeah, really cuddly looking and very happy looking little robins. So I cut those out. I also coloured and cut out some little Santa hats. This is also included in the stamp set. These little, well, there's one little Santa hat which I've stamped and cut out twice to pop on top of my robins. I then have these leaves, which actually came from the Alex Siberia Designs a Paradise Birds stamp set. I had coloured and cut these out for a separate project but didn't use them. So they were sitting on my desk and I thought I could use them today. So I have 5 of those leaves there, but I'm probably only going to use 3 in the end. But they were sitting on my desk and I thought I might as well use them. So I'm starting out by attaching my little Santa hats to my robins with some liquid glue. They're just going to pop on top of them there. And then I decided to pull out this Lawn Fawn Let It Shine Snowflake paper pack. And I chose out the polar colour, which is this white colour with the silver foil snowflake detail. So pretty. And I decided that would work nicely in my background here. So I'm just laying everything out, trying to figure out where I'm going to pop everything down before I start gluing everything. I'm not going to make a shaker. I'm not going to add, I am adding a little bit of foam tape, but just behind my robins and my sentiment. I have gone ahead and stamped out and die cut that sentiment that says Be Jolly from the Mama Elephant stamp set that I showed earlier, the Everything Nice stamp set. I used some Concord and 9th Evergreen ink for that. And then I decided to trim it apart so it would fit better on my card. So I just used my scissors to trim around the B, in between the B and the jolly. So I've got 2 separate words and I'm just trimming it down so it kind of looks seamless, like it's all been die cut and not trimmed apart. And I'm just figuring out where I'm going to put my sentiment there. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to put it covering that star completely or on either side of the star. I decided either side of the star looked better. I'm not sure, but I just like that better. So that's what I'm going with. So now I'm going to go ahead and start gluing down my little kind of leaf pieces to my stitched star frames. Just using a little bit of liquid glue to pop them in place before I start gluing everything else down. So as I say, I missed a week of my Shop Your Crafty Stash series. I had planned on getting something done, but I just ran out of time. It's been a very busy time for me with design team projects, which is fantastic. I am loving every minute of it, but it means that I haven't had a great deal of time for anything else in my craft room. So it was nice to get back into my little series here again today, and extra nice that I pulled out a Christmas stamp set because this is my first Christmas card of 2023. Last year, I was really good about kind of making at least one Christmas card per month. So I started in January and I did really, really well. And I ended up with quite a few Christmas cards, which was unusual for me because normally I'm scrabbling around in December trying to make Christmas cards and just don't get enough done. I don't get enough time to finish them all. So yeah, I'm glad I managed to pull out a Christmas stamp set today and get into the Christmas spirit of things. And yes, I do realise that it's very early to be talking about Christmas, but as a crafter, I'm sure you're all the same as well. We do like to get ahead and have things planned out ready for later in the year. It's probably the busiest time of any crafter's year is Christmas, so it's always nice to get a little ahead. So all I've done is I've glued everything down flat so far. And now I'm going to pull out some foam squares and I'm going to attach my little robins and my sentiment down with some foam squares just to add a little pop of dimension. I just felt like it was a fairly, I won't say plain and simple because it has got quite a bit going on, but everything was flat and I just wanted to lift a couple of things up to add a little bit of something extra to it. So here are my little foam squares. I'm trimming some of them down so they fit nicely behind my little images. And I apologize, I'm having to stop and start my voiceover all the time because I swear every time I sit down and start recording, there's noises going on outside, and then I stop recording and the noises stop, so I start again and then the noises start again. It's a nightmare. Hopefully you're not getting too much background noise. I'm trying to cut it out as much as possible, but yeah, it might be a little bit disjointed today. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm doing the same with my second little robin here, just attaching some foam squares, trimming some of them down so that they'll fit behind all the little pieces. And I'm going to pop him up on to that other little star at the bottom there. I don't know what it is with me and foam tape, foam squares, any kind of double-sided tape. I really struggle with the backing pieces. Now, these came off easily enough, but then they just stuck to my fingers. I must be really staticky or something. The little backing pieces did not want to let go of my fingers. But I am doing the same with my sentiment here, just attaching some little foam squares all over. Again, I will trim some of those down and use them to fill in some of the smaller spaces. And I'm going to attach that sentiment down on top and below that tiniest star, the smallest star that I've cut there from that pattern paper. And I just thought that this was really fun and bright and colourful. It's got the gorgeous traditional red and greens of Christmas, and I just thought it was really, really sweet. I love red and green for Christmas. I really like those traditional colours. I know there's lots of other different funky Christmas colours you can use, but yeah, red and green, I just love it. So I have gone ahead and cut down a standard size card base at 5.5 by 4.25 inches. I've stamped out one of those lovely sentiments inside, and I am now attaching down my panel onto the front. You may notice that I did trim a tiny bit off all the way around the edge. I trimmed a 1/16 of an inch all the way around the edge so that I get a nice white border. I just felt it looked a bit more finished, a bit more polished with that little white border all the way around. And that is it. My card is complete. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I really enjoyed making it today. Thank you so much for joining me. Do please leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you come back and join me again. And please do give this one a thumbs up. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.